Yeah, that's my breakfast. All right, what's going on, guys? It's Jeb. Welcome back here to some more Vanguard. By the way, I got an influx of subscribers. This usually happens, obviously, with the new Call of Duty and stuff like that. So if you're new here, stumbled across my videos at any point, subscribe. We're going to be on the grind. Basically going to be uploading every single day, except for maybe particularly bad days where I absolutely shouldn't for the sake of my mental sanity. Take care of your mental health. Yeah, by the way, my code over on GFUEL is usually, if it's not 30% off, it'll be like 10% or something like that. So if you want a discount over on GFUEL, restocking the Raging Gummy Fish flavor. I see tweets all the time, like every day, of people like, you know, ordering it or picking it up at a store or something like that, just taking pictures. That shit is always really cool to me. So last night, I had played a good amount. As you can see, I actually already have one gold weapon anyway, the gold MP40. The gold MP40 is probably the easiest weapon to get gold in the entire game. But yeah, here it is, the MP40, the golden MP40. This class setup is not good. Don't bother copying it. Usually over the years, we would end up getting these weird challenges like crouching kills or kills behind cover or mounted kills. And we had feared and theorized before this game came out, like, oh my god, what if they want us to do more mounting kills, but now we're able to like move back and forth? And what if they make a challenge where it's telling you you have to kill players that are mounted or some shit like that through a wall? We came up with all sorts of nightmare fuel, you know, ideas and stuff of what it could actually be. And it turns out that the challenges themselves are not that crazy, except the last three. At first, you need to just do the eliminations, the headshots, multi-kills, bloodthirsties, long-range kills, point-blank kills, and hip-fire kills. All of this stuff is incredibly easy with an SMG. These are very, very straightforward. But the thing that ends up happening here, once you get to the final three camos, Bloom, Scarlet Skull, and Smelter, as soon as you start these challenges, you have to use specific attachments within your loadout. Now, I believe that you can use these attachments with other attachments. It only requires 3 attachments. You can still attach 7 other things so long as those 3 things are on the weapon. And this slows things down exponentially. And one annoying thing that I ran into with the MP40 is that this challenge right here wanted me to use the 8mm Kurz 32 round magazine. The issue with that is, though, if you go over here, it's the last magazine. So what ends up happening, by the time you unlock that challenge, you actually don't even have the 8mm yet. It is purposefully done in this way where I would actually have to kind of do it around it. It's really annoying. So I basically had to do this class setup and then come back to this one. Very, very annoying. So now I'm over on the Sten. I'm also trying to be pretty efficient with it, so I'm using Kingsley with the Sten. It's his favorite weapon. Last night I ended up wasting my only double operator XP thing. Also, I tried a bunch of hardcore last night, but for some reason, I could not find any hardcore blitz matches. Absolutely not. Also, since this game's TTK is kind of wild, especially with the headshots and stuff, it still feels like the headshots that I put on people, it's kind of like hardcore already. So hardcore might not actually be the move this year. Not saying it's not, or it can't be good, but basically if you aim in the upper chest, I don't even have that vital perk on either. I've been seeing some people tweet shit like, oh dude, might have found something really broken. I mean, it's only a matter of time, you know? People are already spawning in with arguably the 2 best weapons in the game with the MP40 and the STG anyway. We just don't really know yet. I'm getting killed by this bombing run. What's crazy about the bombing run is that I've called that in many times and it has gotten 0, and I mean 0 kills for me. Every single time. I don't know what part of me said that I wanted to start with the SMGs, but apparently I am, so. Well, I haven't gotten Hotel in a long time. Okay. So I've been seeing, like, the, like, public opinion of the game, and I think people are coming around. I think a lot of people have played multiplayer at this point for, like, you know, at least a full 24 hours or so, a day or two of just... Where is the campaign playthrough? I'm a little busy. In terms of the move and what you're supposed to do in terms of like progress and all that shit, I mean, I see some people doing hardcore, some people doing core, some people playing certain modes over others. I've just simply been playing Blitz, Hardpoint, Blitz Domination, and Blitz Patrol. Doesn't mean that I get Blitz every single time, but that's my Blitz preference or whatever. There is a good amount of cherry picking in these lobbies because there's a lot of sweaty ass players. It's a very, very fast-paced game, and even though like, the weird thing is, over on Modern Warfare, even on Cold War a little bit, it felt like if I got into a game where my team was completely outmatched, there was really not that much I can do. But one thing that happens in Blitz is that there's so little that you as a singular player end up affecting within the game that you can kind of get away with doing shit that you shouldn't be able to. Especially if you start running like weird little classes that are like hidden off the radar and everything. Like people really watch the radar on this game, and it's a good thing. It causes people to actually move. I actually like to issue a challenge out there for all those guys that like Modern Warfare more, and we're talking all this shit about Vanguard before. If you are playing Vanguard currently, just play this for another day, okay? And go back to Modern Warfare and tell me that they both pacing wise play the same. You can run tactical on this and the maps don't play the same. The players don't play the same. Why is it all about map design and the flow of the map? The way that the spawns are putting you in place to be able to contest immediately. Oh, I got the Volksturm. How do you pronounce that? Anybody know how to pronounce it? Volksturmgewehr? I remember for the longest time when I was playing World at War, I called the Gewehr 43, G43, G42, whatever it's called. I called it the Gewehr. That's gotta be about as annoying as hearing people call it martyrdom. Like, do you know what a martyr is? They're not called Martys. They're not martyrs. I thought this Sten would feel bad, but it actually feels pretty good. I don't know how much extra XP I'm getting by using, Arthur with it, but I'm definitely gonna do it all. I mean, it's just content. I think the game will change a lot. Obviously, we're in the honeymoon phase, blah, 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 but the game is gonna change a good amount, especially once everybody realizes what is absolutely the best, like statistically the best. People can start getting made fun of for building their classes wrong and all this other shit. Right now, people don't really know. Hardcore is weird. It's got insanely high highs and very low lows. I guarantee myself basically 50 plus every single time that I end up playing just a full-blown Blitz core match out. I mean, unless my team's getting smoked, but that, you know how it goes. You would never be able to do that on Modern Warfare. Well, you would, but it would just happen so far and few in between, and it just, I don't know. The game feels good. It feels rewarding to do well. That's what the Modern Warfare engine really does. It makes all of the kills feel awesome. And then you add the pace on it. I'm so in the honeymoon phase. It's awesome. I'm just gonna enjoy it. I don't give a fuck. You wouldn't sit there and tell somebody in a brand new relationship that someone clearly is happy about that it ain't gonna last. You'd be an asshole. Oh, we're about to prestige. Cool. All right, got some kills, got a little headshots in there, multi-kills. It's just super annoying because you go and knock out these 100 headshots before you even make it over to the other challenge that are asking you to get more headshots just with a specific thing, a specific class setup. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna try some forward intel. I've been hearing good about this. I'm pretty sure people are just gonna call it the Volk, but Volksturmgewehr? Volksturmgewehr. Something like that. Eventually gonna have to go out of my way to like do the specific challenges. See, it's really annoying because their favorite weapons also correspond with how you unlock some of them. If I were to use the combat shotgun to get the 200 kills with her, basically would not have been able to use her with the combat shotgun. So whenever I get to these things and I swap over to these operators, for example, with the Sten here, I can do this because Kingsley was already unlocked. But if I'm gonna start the shotgun, it would be a very good idea to just use a different shotgun besides the combat shotgun. So when I unlock her, boom, combat shotgun with her. In Das Haus, I think it's called, it translates to like the house. This is literally the brand new shoot house. And I fucking love it. Hold the objective. I mean, look how immediate the fight was. Oh, there's also a UFC tonight. Oh, man, it's gonna be such a banger. We got Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. It's not going 3 rounds or 5 rounds or however long they're fighting. I think it's 3 rounds. I wish that shit were 5 rounds, but I think 5 rounds would only benefit Gaethje, but... I'm gonna get blasted! I knew it was coming. See, my game sense has come back in terms of, like, the old school Call of Duty flow where I just know people are gonna be pressing me again. In Modern Warfare, they would have died and then just stood there in their spawn and just waited instead. It's crazy. The entire mentality is completely shifted, just all thanks to, honestly, forward intel might kind of be it. It is it! I was staring up there and just watched them spawn right behind. I'm dead without forward intel right there. They actually spawned directly behind me. Yeah, if you're a Blitz player, forward intel might be it. Without becoming a full-blown analyst here, yeah, I think Justin Gaethje has the advantage, but I mean, he could absolutely just get shut off immediately by Chandler early. Charles Oliveira almost got shut off by him incredibly early. Dan Hooker, and yeah, he did get shut off. I think Gaethje might end up being too tough and durable, and those leg kicks are gonna hurt. The thing is, if Gaethje keeps throwing those leg kicks out there, I wouldn't be surprised if Chandler tries to wrestle even. And maybe then Chandler could survive a good period of time, but Gaethje can wrestle as well. Not like Gaethje couldn't hurt him. Either way, that's the people's event right there. We got Zhang Weili versus Rose Namajunas. A lot of people were asking, oh, why are they getting a rematch and all this other stuff? I think Weili deserves a rematch for how great her record is and how dominant and the great fight she's had with Joanna and all that shit as well. I don't think Rose Namajunas is just leagues above her. I just don't think that's fair. I think Weili is one of, like, she is top 2, top 3 in that division. She just is. I think it's unfair for her to not get a rematch. Especially with all the legendary fights she's had, I believe she deserves that rematch, and I'm happy she got it. Some people are just so disrespectful, man. Weili is a monster. We'll see what kind of adjustments she makes. I'm going for Weili. I don't have anything against Rose, but I feel like that kind of result, you know, a quick knockout early is not the common thing that would happen if you were to match them up 100 times. That's just, I did never imagine the fight to go that way. I wouldn't say it's a good matchup for Weili. Definitely not. I'm curious to see how she adjusts, if she makes any adjustment at all. I'd rather have a little bit of a harder time with long shots and speed everything else up than play hardcore. Hardcore, it just feels like it specifically will be very good for long shots, but even then, you really don't need it either. Just with the sheer amount of players just running around, certain maps also are great for just long shots in general. Great spots. And then we got Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman. I'm expecting Kamaru to just break his jaw again, I'm gonna be honest. I think Colby Covington is one of the best welterweights in the world in terms of his skill and shit like that, but number one, this matchup is not good for him. I don't know, I really just don't see him beating Usman. I don't even see him finishing Usman. I don't know if I've ever seen him actively actually hurt somebody or put him out in one blow or anything like that. Not the way you've been seeing Usman do it, and Usman just seems to be getting better and better and better. Man, the amount of flack that Usman got over the years before he got the title, the amount of people that were calling him boring, it's crazy to see how much he's evolved and how many people are starting to, like, be... Yeah, I just don't think Colby matches up well into him. He's able to deal with the wrestling to a degree. There's a power difference. Colby has never really been known for a lot of power. You could argue that Colby might have a better gas tank, but it won't really matter when that gas tank is getting sapped by getting punched in the face. 'Cause, hey, you could have a good tank, but if you get hurt, you get hurt. You know what I mean? If nothing's working for you, that's also exhausting. Trying to wrestle and fail, that's exhausting. Punching someone 800 fucking times and them not going down is also frustrating. But if I had to pick who I think will win all of these fights, I'm gonna go Justin Gaethje, Rose Namajunas. That's just what my gut's telling me, and Usman. I want Weili to win though. I'd love a trilogy. Almost dropped 100. If I had known I was that close, I would have paid more attention. I never would have made that kind of progress in a hardcore game. It just doesn't happen like that because it's always tactical. Shipment comes out and we can queue hardcore shipment in like the little tab thing. We're playing Blitz, everybody, understand. We will all make this progress. So I'm excited for this shit. It's gonna be a banger tonight. I'm gonna grind all the way up until fights are going on. It's gonna be eventful. It's gonna be great. I'm excited.